I had hid my struggles, even though I knew people could see that I was struggling, but I never talked about it. And that wasn't something that I was ready to do really until recently. I've never been really sure how to describe this. Say you put on a wool sweater, and that can be really uncomfortable. But after a while, your skin kind of gets used to it. And my skin, regardless of texture, it never really got used to what was touching it. And so I, just through elementary school, I would be wearing kind of the same safe clothes every day. And kids realized that I was wearing the same stuff every day, and I was wearing these really baggy clothes. My pants, the elastic was cut so they'd be held up with Velcro because I couldn't stand anything that was tight against my skin. And my parents took me to a lot of doctors. I tried getting me in to see people who could help. I think just based on where I grew up, it was hard finding people that knew about this, and nobody really knew. Middle school was very hard for I think any kid, and that just made it even harder. And I became really depressed because every moment of every day just felt like a challenge. And I could see my peers not having to worry about, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Is it gonna hurt me? And I reached a really dark place where I just felt hopeless, and I didn't want to keep on living because I couldn't ever see my life getting better. And so my family and I realized that I needed something different in terms of treatment because what we were doing, it wasn't enough. And my mom really kind of took it on to try and find a place where I could get treatment. And I remember her calling a bunch of different places, a bunch of different hospitals for kids. And that's how we found out about Rogers. I remember thinking kind of to myself, what the heck's in Wisconsin? But also thinking to myself, if they can help me, without a doubt, I'll go. There was no hesitation in me whatsoever. There was just I finally felt hope. And I ended up coming here a month later. Oh, cool.
This is pretty.
My first day, my roommate came up to me and was super bubbly and was like, "Hi, I'm your roommate. I struggle with this. What are you here for?" It was I felt so at ease. She didn't judge me, and she shared with me what she was there for, and I was just kind of wow. And it was the first time in my life that I didn't feel alone, that I didn't feel it was just me struggling in some dark hole. Because a lot of my issues stemmed around clothing and different textures. My BS, he had told my parents to go shopping for me, go and buy stuff that Christina would never wear. They bought me this pair of purple corduroy skinny jeans. I love the color purple, but corduroy was never a texture that I ever wanted to even think about touching me. And I remember my BS was asking me if wearing the purple corduroy skinny jeans, where was my anxiety at? And I remember it started, I think, with me just thinking about the purple corduroy skinny jeans until my anxiety kind of came down. And then looking at a picture of them, having them next to me. And there were so many more steps that I was supposed to take. And I don't know what it was about the day that I finally wore those, but I skipped several steps in that hierarchy. And I was you know what? I'm gonna put on these purple corduroy skinny jeans. And I did, and I remember walking out of the bathroom feeling I was on top of the world. And I remember that day was when I realized I'm getting better. I never thought that I would wear these. And here I am walking around in these two small purple corduroy skinny jeans. When it was time for me to go and I'd finished treatment, I didn't want to leave because it was the first time in my life that I felt completely accepted, that I didn't feel judged, that I felt like I had friends. I'm probably not as agile as I used to be. I think my idea of success has changed so much throughout my life. When I was here as a patient, success for me was not waking up and having a panic attack. And I think success for me now is finishing school, passing my boards, and being able to just inspire other people who feel alone and feel like they're in a dark hole and there's no way out. And I just want to be a reminder that, hey, I've been there and I'm out of that. Like, I'm not in that dark hole anymore. And you don't have to be in that dark hole anymore either. And I think that's pretty powerful.